This was my Bruno look. Who saw Bruno, the movie? Oh my god, that was awesome. Welcome back to The Pursuit of Happiness. I hope you're all feeling very happy, having subscribed to my channel, and feeling richer, healthier, more attractive, more educated. That's got to make you feel happy. I just wanted to say, actually, if you have never seen the movie Bruno, if you want a good laugh, I recommend that movie. I swear, I laughed for about 2 years after watching that. Every time I'd get a flashback, it was a bit like LSD, that movie. Every time I'd get a flashback, I'd just be laughing. What a funny movie Bruno was. Anyway, that wasn't what I was going to be talking about today. That was just like coming up out of my brain. It's Bruno, yeah? Makes me laugh. So I hope you're all well and not getting sucked into all the duality, mind control programming that's going on the planet at the moment of me versus everyone else who doesn't agree with me and all of this stuff. I mean, it's been going on for a while now. You could really see that this mind control system that needs this negative energy has been building in momentum, because I think it could feel its own demise sort of getting closer. And the last thing this energy, however you see that energy, wants is for humans to all get along and be nice. What it loves, on the other hand, is for everyone to be fighting and defriending each other because they don't think the way. I mean, how many people, when Donald Trump was elected, if you supported Donald Trump, your friends didn't want to be your friend anymore? I know people that stopped talking to people because they voted for Donald Trump. I mean, if that isn't the mind control program at work, I don't know what is. I mean, sheesh. I do believe in unity in the community, just not coming from the blue aliens, of course. I really do. And yeah, I mean, just so much division tactics going on. That's why herd mentality is just so very dangerous, and why I don't really belong to any herd. The only thing I ever belong to that might be a bit herdish is a good party where we're all dancing to the same music. You know, I don't mind that kind of herdish behaviour, but even then, I'm not going to be doing any of the same dance moves that anyone else is doing, and hopefully no one else will be copying me. So yeah, herd mentality, stay well clear of it. Unless, of course, it's about buying your bitcoins and your ethers. Who's your mama? Who's your mama? Who told you that Bitcoin and ether were going to be going up? I think it was me who told you that. I do. And if you listened to me, you would now be sitting on a pretty profit, wouldn't you? Bitcoin's over $5,000 last time I looked. I remember when I started telling all my friends in 2013 about buying some bitcoins for like $60 or $150, and they were all hooing and hawing about the price, like, oh, I don't want to lose £150 or £60, or I don't want to buy too many, this might be a bubble, they were all saying to me. I was trying to explain to them, well, this is the mathematical equation of how much Bitcoin could go up to in the future if it takes off, you know, like $500,000, $1 million per Bitcoin, and they were all just looking at me like, And I was trying to get them excited and understand it was a long-term investment, and €60 now, and keep it for like 5-8 years, and maybe it's in the thousands and millions. Well, they weren't quite getting it, but those who did get it, they're like my best friends ever now, of course. If you help anyone make money, get laid, or get more healthy, those are the 3 things they say. If you want to be a good business person or very popular, those are the 3 things you should work on. And my silver is here, €23 a bar. And look at that, you get this lovely full bar of silver. I've got my little treasure chest there, just of the silver that I've bought. So as you can see, I've got my ethers, I've got my Bitcoin, I've got my silver. So I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. Because I want to be rich too, who doesn't? But it's not to be rich just for rich sake, it's because I don't want to have to worry about money, and I want to be able to do wonderful things and travel the world doing wonderful things with that money, and of course buy a house and make sure that my children get to do wonderful things when they get older. You know, who doesn't want that? If you say you don't want that, you're probably either a liar, mentally ill, or just a complete hippie that wants to go and live free and wild in the bushes, which is also cool. But yes, don't get into the mind control games, and make sure you're getting your Bitcoin, Ether and silver. And even if Bitcoins are now 5,000, what I recommend doing is getting some Ether, or you have to get Bitcoin to get the Ether, and then watch your Ether go up, and when it goes like sort of higher and the Bitcoin drops, then you buy some Bitcoin with the Ether, then wait for the Bitcoin to go up and for the Ether to drop, then you buy more Ether. You know, you play that game with the Bitcoin and Ether, and you can build your portfolio. You can build your wallet that way. It's not that difficult. I mean, if I can do it, that's me. When it comes to investments and computers. You know, I am blonde. Come on, guys. Like, if I can do it, you guys can do it. That's for sure. And, you know, any little amount, never be put off, never think, because this is what people do all the time. They find reasons not to just start. Do you know what I mean? One silver bar. You can get one silver bar for just, you know, just above $20. And one, you know, just start with one. If you've got $23, instead of buying fags and booze or you know, having a bet on the horses, getting your favourite chocolate bar, get yourself a bar of silver. Buy yourself $10, $20, $30 of Ether. Just start Bitcoin. Just start little. Because like, if you'd have started doing that years ago, now you'd be laughing. If you'd have bought your half a Bitcoin for $30 when they were $60, because you didn't want to risk too much. I mean, now that half a Bitcoin would be worth $2.5 grand. So if you're $30, you would really be laughing. And if Bitcoin goes up to 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, you know, if you've been just getting little bit, you know, once it shoots up again, which it has to eventually, if it doesn't get closed down on some level, you know, which would be pretty difficult to actually ever do, then it has to keep, mathematically has to keep going up in value as it becomes more useful. Because the more people start to use it, you start to need smaller and smaller amounts of the Bitcoin, so everyone's got Bitcoins to use. So this actually means it has to become more valuable, so you can use less of it. So that's why it increases in value and why it's such a good buy. And actually, I heard the other day Matthew David on one of his videos, he made a really good point about currency. He was making this point about, you know, how in the old days everything was ruled by who controlled the earth's, you know, the metals. It was all about metals. We were in a very metallic age. It was all about the silver and the gold. So our currency was being depicted as silver and gold. And then we went into the kind of era of oil and petrol. You know, we have the petrodollar, right? The petrodollar. And then now everything is on plastic. You know, plastic cards, get the plastic out, the credit card, the debit card. It all went to plastic. So that was just like, as our consciousness was shifting, we were going more into the sort of energy-driven age of, yeah, petrol. But it was a consumer-driven age, and it was also a bit toxic, that age, which is represented in the petrodollar and the plastic card. And now we are going into a more spiritual realm, a higher vibratory level. So now our currency is becoming ether, the realm of spirit. You know, Bitcoin, ether, these are now digital, invisible currencies representing our current, because we are becoming more etheric, more energy driven, and going up to a high level. So actually the cryptocurrencies are actually just an outer world expression of something that's going on with us internally. As we become more light driven beings, if you believe in that, then it is being represented through our currency. You know, the more cryptocurrency works by solving problems, and the more problems they solve, the more they generate their current. So it's a bit like us. The more problems we solve and the more we decode everything and we start working sort of through our problems, the more we unlock our currency, and it becomes like this ether, this etheric realm. So I thought that was really nice. So that wasn't coming from me. That was coming from Matthew David in one of his videos that I watched the other day. And I really like sort of felt a yes to that analogy. I really enjoyed that. So don't be afraid of cryptocurrencies. They are going to be part of the future, whether you like it or not. So it just all comes down to, are you going to get rich off it, or are you going to wait and then be boo-hooing and complaining, you know, when people start using them more and the age of the petro and the plastic starts coming to an end and things start to become more digital as a natural progression of humanity and not an evil, you know, Mark of the Beast type situation. So what I say, yeah, you know what I say, start getting your little bits and ethers if you can, and don't miss the boat. Because a lot of my friends who didn't buy cryptocurrencies when I said they're now kicking themselves. They write me emails going, oh, I'm so gutted, Rach. You told me to get Bitcoins, you told me, and I faffed around and I didn't know what I was doing, and then I just left it and I forgot about it. And now they're worth $5,000, you know. If when they were £100, if they'd have bought 5, they'd be laughing. They'd be laughing. I've had friends that bought 1 or 2 when I told them to. They've bought like cars and like got deposits for their house now. So yeah, you know, this is you can either listen or you can miss out. That's my motto. Either get on the boat or miss the boat, you know. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have this anyway, does it? It doesn't hurt to have that in your hand. Pure silver. Doesn't hurt to have it. Bit of ether, bit of silver. I'm sort of part material, part etheric. That's my motto. I'm not so much into the plastic and petrodollar. I think that needs to start coming to an end now, because that was a very toxic time for humanity. Everything that's come from the petrochemical industry, like our medicine, our credit cards, the plastic, all of these things have been very bad for humanity. Bad for our health, bad for the environment. They have been like the tumour, the cancer. Those are things that we now need to get rid of. You know what I mean? So yeah, onwards and upwards, pilgrims. It's a great time to be alive. Don't get pulled into the us versus them mentality. And yeah, fill your hearts with love and joy and be well. And I shall see you on the next instalment of The Pursuit of Happiness. Mwah! One love.